Li Moying's 9-year-old white moonlight has returned, with a 3-year-old daughter in tow. Our marriage, just beginning to thaw, froze overnight. At our wedding anniversary banquet, to prove to Song Jingxian that our union was nothing but a business deal, Li Moying summoned a doctor in front of every guest to have me examined. Mrs. Li, 3 years married and still a virgin. Under a shower of mocking eyes I lay on the medical bed, skirt lifted, gaze hollow. Afterwards he slid the contract for the South City project across the table. Xin Yan, he said, voice glacial. To stay at my side as Mrs. Li, you'll swallow even this humiliation. How cheap can you be? I laughed softly. He didn't. No, the signature on the marriage certificate 3 years ago belonged to my twin sister. Neither the title nor the man had ever mattered to me. I photographed the contract and sent it to Mother Shen. Within seconds my bank balance jumped by 400,000 yuan plus a message. Stop using your sister's name to do something so vile. I stared at the screen, thumb brushing the frayed red cord around my wrist, then typed calmly, sorry, it won't happen again. I had just lain down when the phone buzzed. Come to the hospital, Li Moying ordered, voice like ice. I shivered, hailed a cab, and ran through the ER doors. Before I could speak, his bodyguard slammed me against the wall by the throat. Li Moying lounged on a bench, flicking a lighter. Jingxian says you hired someone to run them down. Choking, I forced out, I didn't. Evidence. I don't have any. I'd only just heard of the accident. How could I have proof? Li Moying frowned. The bodyguard flung me to the floor. Blood coated my tongue. Before I could explain, a boot landed in my ribs. He rose and looked down. Kneel. If you don't want a divorce, stay on your knees until the surgery ends. I met his eyes and saw he had already judged me guilty. I parted my lips, then lowered my head and knelt in silence, fingers circling the red cord. I cannot divorce. Hours passed, legs numb, I collapsed. When I came to, the ER lights were dark. I lay on the cold tiles, every joint screaming, Xin Yan. His voice floated above me. I lifted my head with effort. He hadn't stayed with Song Jingxian after all. 3 years. He crouched, elegant fingers pinching my chin. Did you think I'd developed feelings for you? My lashes trembled. I gave no answer. As long as you don't touch them, you can keep the title. Everything except love. Understood. The corridor light haloed him, and I remembered the tasseled lamp he'd brought from the Middle East last year. How he'd set it on my nightstand and said gently, don't be afraid, this light will stay on for you. I never knew how he'd discovered my fear of the dark, but for a moment his rare tenderness had let me believe something real had grown in our sham marriage. I know, I whispered, calmer than I expected. I never thought otherwise. He narrowed his eyes, gauging the truth, then hauled me up by the arm. Knees burning, I swayed. His other hand steadied my waist. Remember what you said? I watched him leave and gave a wan smile. The phone vibrated madly. Mother Shen's impatient voice burst out. Your sister's coming back in 2 months. Prepare for the switch. My breath hitched. The money, she clicked her tongue. Such vulgarity. Who did you learn it from? 20 million to keep your mouth shut. Enough? A genuine smile curved my lips. Enough. Thank you, madam. The unfamiliar address irritated her. She hung up at once. Tension I'd carried for years loosened a notch. I stared at the red cord and murmured, when you're cured, we'll go see the auroras. I hadn't started out wanting to marry Li Moying. 10 years ago my sister's heart disease flared. At the sight of me she wept. Why didn't I suffer? Why had I steal nutrients in the womb? Until our parents' hearts broke. In anger they banished me to the countryside. The steward, knowing I wasn't valued, ignored their instructions to send living expenses. Hungriest, I fought stray dogs for scraps. Brother Zhouxing picked me up. Villagers mocked him. The fool's taking a beggar for a wife. But I knew he wasn't born simple. A brain tumor pressed on his mind. 3 years ago, when his illness peaked, the Shen family fetched me back to stand in for my sister at the wedding. She had fled the night before, chasing love. The Shen parents couldn't afford to offend the Li family, and remembered they had twins. I agreed on one condition, 400,000 yuan every month. Zhouxing's life hung on a shot that cost 1.2 million every trimester. Li Moying stayed at the hospital with Song Jingxian and her child for a month. When he returned, his face was storm dark. I tried to slip past, but he stopped me, expression unreadable. Xin Yan, he said, give me a son. I spun around, meeting his hard gaze. Li Moying stared at me for a few seconds, then let out a cold laugh. What? Unwilling? My throat felt corked. Not a single word would come out. The Li family needs an heir, he said flatly, leaving no room for argument. I clenched my fists, forced a smile. Of course I'm willing. He loosened his tie with a careless tug and stepped closer. Warm breath grazed my face, my whole body locked. I fought to keep my hands still, bracing for the inevitable. Eyes shut in surrender. He gave a soft snort. So desperate to sleep with me? Too bad. It's IVF. He brushed past me and strode into the study. Only when the door slammed did I realize my legs had gone soft. I slid to the floor. The IVF process was harsher than I'd imagined. The ovulation stimulation needle was long and thick. The moment it sank into my flesh, the pain blacked out my sight. You must love your husband very much, the nurse murmured while injecting. To endure this, I was too dazed to correct her and simply mumbled agreement, then looked up to find Li Moting, who should not have been there, standing in the doorway, eyes dark and unreadable. After the procedure, the nurse told me to rest. I lay drenched in cold sweat. Li Moting took 2 steps toward me, as if about to speak, when a ringtone sliced the air. Song Jingshuan's exclusive tone. Moting, Yuan misses you. A little girl lisp drifted from the phone. Daddy. For an instant his features softened. The call ended. He frowned down at me, hesitating. I couldn't fathom why he wavered, but, ever the considerate wife, I smiled weakly. Go. I'm fine. His brows only drew tighter. He searched my face for something he couldn't name, then said curtly, Secretary Chung will look after you. I was startled. Chung was his personal aide, reserved for the boss himself. Apparently a mere IVF merited royal treatment. The moment he left, I dug the contraceptive pills I'd prepared from my bag and swallowed them dry. I cannot get pregnant. I'm leaving soon. I want no deeper entanglement with Li Moting. When Secretary Chung delivered me back to the Li residence, Yuan, Song Jingshuan's daughter, was in the living room building blocks. After the accident, Li Moting had moved them in. Long before my wedding I had heard of Song Jingxian, his first love, the girl who had once cared for him, the symbol of his youthful rebellion against the Li family. The instant she saw me, Yuan shrieked, snatched a block and hurled it into my stomach. Bad woman, get out! Don't steal my daddy. Unprepared, I staggered. The small of my back cracked against the table edge, and pain shot through me. Yuan. Song Jingxian rushed over, hugging the child, eyes reddening. I'm sorry, Miss Shen. The child is little. She doesn't understand. She began to cry herself, as though she were the grievously wronged one. Shen Yan, what are you doing? Li Moting strode downstairs and instinctively placed Song Jingxian and Yuan behind him. I opened my mouth, but Song Jingxian sobbed louder. Moting, Yuan's been having nightmares, dreaming Miss Shen will throw us out. She's only a baby. She dabbed her eyes and, shielded by the child, gave Yuan a discreet pat. The girl instantly flung herself at Li Moting. Daddy, I don't want a stepmother. She'll toss us into the street. Li Moting's face darkened. He scooped Yuan up. What did you say to her? He demanded of me. I had no desire left to explain. I stood in silence. Song Jingxian, weeping, crooned, It's mommy's fault. I'm of low birth. Otherwise you wouldn't be a hidden illegitimate child. Now Li Moting cut her off and barked at me. Shen Yan, get this straight. What's in your belly is just a tool to appease the Shen family. Once it's born, I'll send it abroad. Now apologize to Yuan. He stepped closer. Yuan stuck her tongue out at me over his shoulder. I looked at the 3 of them, one perfect family, and days from departure, simply didn't want trouble. I'm sorry, I murmured, head bowed. My fault. Yet my meekness seemed to anger him too. His frown never eased. Song Jingxian, now in fine spirits, magnanimously forgave me. To compensate mother and child, Li Moting cleared his schedule and took them traveling. Cruises to watch the ocean, bidding on jewelry at Sotheby's, chasing the northern lights. Song Jingxian never tired of sharing each moment with me. I replied with mechanical blessings. May it last forever. Who Li Moting was with, what he did, I never cared. I simply counted the days until the switch. Approaching the date, I packed a little every day. The thought of the life ahead kindled quietly inside me. That night I was zipping my suitcase when the hospital called. Miss Shen Yan, the patient in bed 703 has taken a sudden turn. He may not make it through the night. I froze, coat forgotten, barefoot, and sprinted downstairs. As I reached the hall, the door opened. Li Moting and Song Jingxian returning from their trip with bags and souvenirs. Miss Shen, so late. Where are you off to? Song Jingxian blocked me, smiling sweetly. I had no time for her. I sidestepped. She seized my arm, eyes glinting with mischief, clearly enjoying my panic. Thinking of the hospital, I wrenched free and shouted, Move! Who do you think you are to stop me? Ah, Daddy! Yuan shrieked, startled, and dove into Li Moting's arms, sobbing. Auntie Shen is so scary. She's an old witch. Song Jingxian froze for a second, then tears slid down her cheeks as she looked helplessly at Li Moting. I was only worried about Miss Shen. The doctor said she needs complete rest during the fertility treatments. Li Moting's face darkened. His gaze swept over my bare feet. Go back to your room. I'll have the family doctor check you. I shook my head at once. I'm fine. I don't need a doctor. I have to leave now. Move. The moment I defied him, his pupils shrank. I said, go back upstairs. Every second of the standoff felt like being flayed alive. I clenched my back teeth. I must go out. I have something urgent. Nothing is more urgent than the baby in your belly. Song Jingxian cut in, all concerned. Miss Shin, please go back up. At Li Moying's glance, two maids rushed forward to seize my arms. Panic surged. I screamed, let me go. Don't touch me. The maids hesitated, looking at Li Moying. He didn't spare me another glance. Cradling the still whimpering Yuan, he ordered, escort the madam to her room. She is not to leave without my permission. Li Moying. I screamed his name, voice shaking. It was the first time I had ever defied him. He only grew colder. Do it. The maids dragged me upstairs by force. Terror flooded me. Tears streamed down my face. Please, please, just this once. Li Moying, don't do this to me. He never looked back. Doors slammed. Locks clicked. Outside the window, lightning forked and rain poured. I beat the door until my hands were raw, begging, open up. Please let me out. All I heard from downstairs was their cheerful laughter. The perfect family. I wiped my tears savagely, turned to the window. Third floor. No hesitation. I tore the bedsheet into a rope, climbed out into the storm, bare feet slipping on wet tiles. When the sheet ended, I let go and dropped into the mud. A searing pain knifed through my ankle, but I ignored it and limped toward the gate. Behind me a guard shouted, young master, the madam has escaped. In the downpour I flagged a taxi, collapsing into the back seat, filthy and shaking. Central Hospital, fast. The driver stared at my reflection, terrified. Hang on, miss. I shoved every bill in my wallet at him. My brother is waiting for me, but when I stumbled into the ward, I was too late. The nurse was already drawing the sheet over his face. I'm sorry, she said softly, startled by my appearance. He kept staring at the door, mumbling nonsense, something about buying candy for Anan, taking her to an amusement park, buying giant balloons. Miss Shinyan, if possible, please tell this little girl named Anan that her brother loved her very much. I nodded dazedly and stood beside the bed for a long time. Only when I saw his right fist still clenched did I move. Gently I pried it open. Inside lay a brand new red cord. I sank to my knees and finally broke, sobbing until my chest cracked. Brother. It was dusk the next day when I finished the funeral arrangements. I sat on the steps of the crematorium, holding the urn. Mother Shen rang. Your sister lands tomorrow. Her voice was its usual cold impatience. When can the switch happen? I lifted my eyes. My voice was eerily calm. Right now. I never went back to the Li mansion. There was nothing there I wanted. The 20 million hit my account. That night I bought a ticket to Norway with my brother's ashes. He and I still had an aurora to watch. You're useless, Shunin. Shen Yan texted after listening to the instructions I left. Raised in silk and satin, she couldn't understand why I, wearing the title of Mrs. Li, had swallowed every insult. In her world, the worst outcome was simply going home. Father and mother would always cushion her. Before boarding, I snapped my SIM card in two. These 3 years, let them be a dream. When Shen Yan stepped back into the villa, Li Moying was on the sofa with Song Jingxian and Yuan watching cartoons. 3 perfect smiles. So you finally remembered you live here? Li Moying's eyes flicked from Yuan to the doorway, then narrowed. Song Jingxian, about to play the gracious hostess, froze. The woman at the door was nothing like the subdued, plain Mrs. Li who had left. Shen Yan wore haute couture, every strand of hair immaculate, the hauteur in her eyes, identical to Li Moying's. Left Song Jingxian speechless. Shen Yan let out a cold laugh. Any later and you'd be planning the second child with her. Every servant in the hall swiveled to stare. A flash of astonishment crossed Li Moying's face, then something darker. Shen Yan, show some respect to Jingxian. Shen Yan rolled her eyes. A wife should respect the mistress? Li Moying, why don't you say that to your own mother? The Li family had once endured a scandal, a mistress arriving with a child, demanding legitimacy. Old Madam Li had shut it down hard, and the illegitimate son never crossed the threshold. Shen Yan, his voice dropped to freezing. The room temperature plummeted. She didn't seem to notice. She sauntered upstairs, brushing past the fuming man as if he were furniture. She feared nothing. If Li Moying wanted a divorce, she'd sign on the spot. She wasn't about to suffer a moment of indignity. Song Jingxian hurried after her. In the master bedroom, Shen Yan was already tossing anything that wasn't hers out into the hallway. Song Jingxuan's tears were instant. She clutched Shen Yan's hand, pitiful. Miss Shen, please don't be angry. Yuan has never slept with both her parents. That's why the servants moved things in. Shen Yan turned around, took in Song Jingshuan's tear-filled eyes, and slapped her. Who gave you permission to step into my bedroom without my consent? You're nothing but a nanny, yet you dare sleep in the madam's bed. Song Jingxian was so stunned she forgot the speech she had prepared. Was this really the same timid, yes madam Shen Yan? Shen Yan, have you lost your mind? Li Moing appeared in the doorway, pulling Song Jingxian into his arms. Surveying the chaotic floor, he closed his eyes in anger, apologized to Jingxian now. Shen Yan paused, swept the two of them with a cold glance. Apologize for what? She stuck her face out to be hit. Why should I be sorry? If anything, she owes me. Li Moing's brows knitted. He could hardly believe these words came from Shen Yan. Overnight, she seemed a completely different person. Li Moing, I'm Mrs. Li. I want everything that title entails, just not you. Is that a problem? Song Jingxian sniffled. I'm sorry, Moing. I shouldn't have disrespected Mrs. Li. Li Moing remembered what he'd said in the hospital corridor and gave a cold laugh. So that's how it is. Under Song Jingshuan's startled gaze, he didn't pursue the matter. He let Shen Yan wreck the master bedroom at will. The next day, Li Moing had just taken Song Jingxian and Yuan to the pediatrician for a routine checkup. When they returned, the pool was hosting a wild party, male models everywhere, champagne popping and waterfalls. Shen Yan, held aloft in the middle, laughed with abandon. Spotting Li Moing, she had someone carry her over like a princess. A little drunk, she looped her arms around his neck, breath sweet with alcohol. Baby, I'm paying, why the sour face? And didn't the invite say swimsuit party? Dressed like a prudish house husband. What's with that? Song Jingxian hurried forward. Miss Shen, Yuan's sick today. Moing only went with us to the hospital. If you're angry, don't hurt yourself like this. Shen Yan didn't even hear her. She turned, impatient. No one over 30 allowed. Didn't you read the memo? Who let the old lady in? Several of the men, unaware who Li Moing was, pulled out a few hundred-yuan notes and tossed them at Song Jingxian. Ma'am, this is a looks-only party. Here's cab fare, go home. Song Jingshuan's face flushed livid. Li Moing already had his phone out. Security, send a team. Throw every last piece of trash out of my house. His rage was barely leashed. Jinyan, you're pregnant. Don't push me. My patience has limits. Pregnant? The word circled in her head until she recalled Shen An's warning. She cursed Shen An again for leaving such a mess. She let go of Li Moing and laughed. Taken care of. What did you say? Li Moing's face went black, storm clouds in his eyes. That was the Li family heir. Drunk and dizzy, Shen Yan dragged little Yuan in front of him. You've got your own flesh and blood right here. She chuckled. A girl? Sure, but Thailand's only a flight away. Shen Yan, Li Moing roared, hand shooting to her throat. Shen Yan bit down hard on the base of his thumb. With a grunt he flung her away. Security arrived late, clearing everyone out. In an instant the Li residence was quiet. Li Moing stared at the woman on the floor. Nothing made sense. She was Shen Yan, yet not Shen Yan. Song Jingxian sobbed. Moing, Miss Shen is so desperate to drive Yuan and me away that she's pretending to be insane. We'd better leave. She made to walk out with the child, expecting him to stop her. But Li Moing simply kept staring at Shen Yan, as though a puzzle piece had clicked into place. Pretending, of course. In the end she just wanted more of his attention. On the floor, Shen Yan was already planning her second party. Li Moing clicked his tongue in irritation and ordered her carried to the master bedroom and locked inside. Only then did he notice Song Jingxian at the door. Don't go. I want to see how long she can keep this act up. Song Jingxian lowered her eyes, hiding the venom. This woman had definitely switched places with the real Shen Yan. She had noticed earlier, this Shen Yan wore no frayed red cord on her wrist, the one the previous woman had guarded like treasure. Alone, Song Jingxian slipped into the master bedroom. Nothing of hers remained. Everything now belonged to Shen Yan. Furious, she scrubbed Shen Yan's toothbrush in the toilet bowl, ready to put it back, then paused. In the mirrored cabinet, she found unfamiliar white pill bottles with the labels peeled off. Alarmed, she poured a few tablets into her purse and paid a private hospital doctor to analyze them. The verdict: cardiac medication. The previous Shen Yan had undergone IVF, impossible with a heart condition. This woman was an imposter. Armed with this trump card, Song Jingxian laughed coldly. Once Li Moing learned Shen Yan had fooled him, he would never forgive her. That night she burst into tears in front of Li Moing. Moing. Yuanyuan took something and can't stop vomiting. Moing, please save her. Li Moing rushed Yuanyuan to the hospital for emergency gastric lavage. When the doctor asked, Song Jingxian produced the pills she had prepared. Yuanyuan was naughty. She got into Miss Shun's room and swallowed these. Li Moing stared at the tablets, that familiar sense of wrongness surging back stronger than ever. It wasn't until the doctor handed over the drug detection report, clearly stating the tablets were for cardiac patients, that everything clicked. Shen Yan could never have heart disease. Before the IVF, he'd had a full physical done through his own clinic, and no cardiological problem had ever been flagged. In an instant, every discrepancy, every doubt, every uneasy feeling found its answer. This woman wasn't Shen Yan. Then where was his Shen Yan? Secretary Chung. Pull every second of the route Mrs. Li took the day she climbed out that window. I want the most detailed dossier possible. He hung up. The carpet around his feet was littered with cigarette butts. Yet the panic inside him only grew. He didn't know why he felt it. He only knew he had to get his Shen Yan back. The matter was simple to investigate. Within hours, Chung sent every clip and record. Watching Shen Yan jump, Li Moing's own heart lurched. Her ankle twisted. In the hospital corridor, she looked shattered, tears streaming. For the first time, he realized how little he knew her. When the file landed on Zhou Sheng, every puzzle piece snapped into place. The woman who had lived with him for 3 years was actually Shen'an. The Shen family had twins they'd used as pawns. Li Moing rubbed his temples. They'd made a fool of him. When Shen Yan woke in a private club booth, her parents had already blown up her phone. Mom, what is it? I've got a hangover. At the word alcohol, Mother Shen's usual bark turned to syrupy concern. Darling, how many times have I told you no drinking? I'll have someone brew sober-up soup right away. Li Moing sat nearby, eyes dark. In his memory, Mother Shen had always been cold to Shen'an. He'd thought the girl was merely a bargaining chip. Now he saw how staggering the favoritism was. It infuriated him. On Shen'an's behalf, the moment Shen Yan stepped into the Shen house, her parents sat ramrod straight, documents scattered across the table. Li Moing, why are you here? He lifted his gaze, a cold smile on his lips. I was about to ask you the same. Isn't life abroad comfortable? Shen Yan's heart sank. One look at her parents' faces and she knew the game was up. So what? The marriage certificate says Shen Yan, and I am Shen Yan. If you're looking for Shen Yan, you're looking at her. Li Moing's mouth curled. She still didn't grasp the situation. He lifted a hand. Secretary Chung laid a file before Shen Yan and her parents. Page after page documented the Shen family's accounts. One word from him, and tomorrow they could all be sleeping on the street. Now tell me where my wife is. Cold sweat beaded on the Shen parents' foreheads. Shen Yan clenched her teeth. You'd ruin us for Shen'an? I'm better than her in every way. She's just a cowardly country mouse. Shut up. Li Moing slammed the table and stood. Not one decent person in this family. If he hadn't dug up Zhou Sheng, he would never have known Shen'an had. Left school at 14, lived off scavenging bottles and odd jobs, sold her own blood to buy medicine for that idiot, the boy with the brain tumor. Mother Shen sneered. Yes, Shen'an was always scheming. Mr. Li, she's not worth. Before she finished, 2 bodyguards pinned her down. A few crisp slaps silenced her. Li Moing. Shen Yan's hands shook. Shen'an stayed with you for money. If she'd felt anything, why switch so cleanly? You said yourself the marriage was loveless. She and I are no different to you. The word stabbed deep. He raised his hand to slap her, but when his palm touched that identical face, it gentled into a caress. For deceiving me, the Shen family will pay. Divorce papers will arrive tonight. After that, good luck. I won't show mercy. Li Moing. He walked out, deaf to Shen Yan's shrieks. People who had no value didn't deserve his time. When he reached home, Song Jingxian waited at the door with the child. She'd already heard of the uproar at the Shen house. The humiliation she'd suffered these past days felt sweetly avenged. Moting, where's Miss Shen? She didn't come back with you? Li Moing studied her coolly. I've arranged accommodation for you and Yuanyuan in the States. Leave tomorrow. Don't come back. Song Jingxian froze. With the real Shen Yan gone and the fake exposed, she should be the only mistress of this house. Moting, why? Yuanyuan's so small. She can't lose her father. She stroked the child's back, then pinched the little waist hard. Yuanyuan burst into loud sobs. See, she cries at the thought. She truly can't bear to leave you. If Miss Shen doesn't want us here, I'll go. Give Yuanyuan to her even, but don't send the child away from her daddy. Song Jingxian wept, clutching Yuanyuan, the picture of grievance. But this time Li Moing's gaze lingered only on the child. After a few seconds he shook his head. No need. She and I will have our own children. Child support will be wired on time. For Yuanyuan's sake I'll introduce you to some eligible men. If you like one, marry him. Song Jingshuan's tears turned real. No, Moting, I swore I'd only marry you. Without you, I'd rather stay single. Even if I'm nameless, I'm willing to stay by your side. Li Moying's eyes iced over. Secretary Cheng's dossier had held more than financial records. Whatever Li Moying wanted to know, he knew. Song Jingxian, you should understand why I kept you around. Clean, simple, with no scheming or calculation. For what you did to my wife, I can let it go on account of the child. But if you keep clinging, don't blame me for using every means against you. Song Jingshuan's pupils dilated. She couldn't force out a single word. She had taken care of Li Moying for years and knew him. Once he spoke like this, there was no room left to maneuver. Her legs gave out and she collapsed. I started my world tour from Norway. A year later I returned to the rundown bungalow Zhousheng, and I once called home. It had been rebuilt into a modest two-story house. While it was being repaired, the neighbor, Aunt Li, had rolled up her sleeves to help. She had also reached out when Zhousheng and I were at our lowest, and I'd always been grateful. So when I heard her grandson was turning 1, I prepared a generous red envelope. I never expected to see Li Moying again. Yesterday, while I was soothing the baby for Aunt Li, a pair of arms suddenly wrapped around me from behind. Startled, I thought it was a kidnapper and opened my mouth to scream, but the embrace only tightened. Shannon, I missed you so much. It was Li Moying. My whole body stiffened. I knew you'd come back here. I knew I'd wait long enough to see you. I turned and met his slightly red-rimmed eyes. It felt like a surreal dream. What was he doing? Wasn't Shen Yan supposed to be Mrs. Li? Why had he come looking for me? His gaze fell on the sleeping child in my arms, soft and yearning. It must have been hard, raising him alone. Have you named our son yet? I thought of Li Yan Li Xingrui, but I like Li Nianan best. I frowned, finally realizing what he thought. He believed the child was ours. Li Moying, he has a name, Xiao Nua. He blinked, still gentle. Xiao Nua, if you chose it, I love it. He must be delusional. I took a step back. What are you doing here? We have nothing left between us. His eyes flashed with hurt. I know everything now. After you left, I discovered Shen Yan. Wasn't you? I've divorced her. I only want to start over with you. Shannon, come home. I couldn't even comprehend it. Who you married or divorced is none of my business. This is my home. Yes, I deceived you and I'm sorry, but I've paid for it. My nose stung. I had never seen Zhousheng one last time. That pain would stay with me forever. Li Moying lowered his head, clasping my hand. Song Jingxian and Yuan, I've sent them to the States. I promise you'll never see them again. The child needs a father. Anan, come back to me. This time the title of Mrs. Li and my love are both yours. I jerked my hand away, voice hard. I don't care. Neither the title nor you mean anything to me. He refused to believe, laughing softly. Of course you care. Xiao Nua is the proof. Before I could answer, Aunt Li walked in, greeting Li Moying warmly and scooping Xiao Nua from my arms. My dear, you've got company. I'll take the little one so you two can chat. I smiled and nodded. Li Moying's pupils quaked. Only after she left did I speak. Quietly, I never got pregnant. I took contraceptives from the start. I never intended to have your child. Please leave, Li Moying. I turned and walked inside. As the door swung shut, I saw a tear slide down his face. He proved harder to shake than I expected. For days, whenever I opened the window, the yard was an ocean of roses. Truckloads delivered daily in this tiny town. Fireworks lighting the sky each night. One evening I opened the door. He stood holding roses, smiling. You're finally willing to see me. I drew a slow breath. Zhousheng and I depended on each other for more than 10 years. I married you to get money from the Shuns for his treatment. He was the only family I recognized in this world. Because of you, I missed his last moments. You investigated me. You know how the Shuns treated me and the life I lived. If you truly have even a shred of affection for me, leave. Don't force me. If you stay, I'll disappear again. The roses slipped from his hand. The light in his eyes went out. We looked at each other for a long time. Finally, he gave a bitter laugh, voice choked. All right. Aunt Li happened by just then, pulling me toward her grandson's first birthday banquet. I nodded and walked away without looking back. Li Moying watched my retreating figure and whispered, "Goodbye, Shannon."